Hello everyone, myself Dr. P. Srivastava and today we will discuss about the superior vena cava. It is a 7 cm long and it is a large venous channel which collect blood from the upper half of the body. Right? This is a superior vena cava. This is the superior vena cava which is 7 cm long and which collect upper half of the body, means neck, head, neck, upper limb, thorax and chest, right? It is formed by the union of right and left brachiocephalic vein. This is a right brachiocephalic vein and this is a left brachiocephalic vein. It is formed by the union of right and left brachiocephalic vein and behind the lower border of first right costal cartilage. This portion is first costal cartilage. Behind the first costal cartilage and close to the sternum. Each brachiocephalic vein is formed behind the corresponding sternoclavicle joint by the union of internal jugular vein. This is an internal jugular vein and this is the left subclavian. So this is a left subclavian vein and internal jugular vein which form the brachiocephalic vein in both sides, right? Now, courses. The superior vena cava is about 7 cm long and begins behind the lower border of external end of the first right costal cartilage. This is the first right costal cartilage. We will see. This is the superior vena cava. It begins behind the lower border of first costal cartilage. This is the first costal cartilage and external end of the first right costal cartilage. Pierce the pericardium. It pierces the pericardium opposite the second right costal cartilage. This portion is known as second costal cartilage, and the superior vena cava, it pierces the pericardium at this is the site of right second costal cartilage, where the superior vena cava is pierced and terminate by the opening of right atrium. Here is the right atrium. It terminates into the right atrium, right? This is a right atrium. So at the level of second right costal cartilage, the superior vena cava terminates in upper part of the right atrium behind the third right costal cartilage. It has no wall. Now we will see in the relation. So in anterior chest wall, right? Internal thoracic vessels, anterior margin of the right lung and pleura, and the vessels is covered by the pericardium in its lower half. In posterior side, this is the superior vena cava. This is the superior vena cava, right? We will see in relation of the posterior side, it will be the trachea. This is the trachea. This is the trachea. And right vagus nerve, trachea, right vagus nerve, and root of the right lungs, right? Root of the right lungs. It's situated in posterior side. In medial side, we will see in medially. This portion is medial side. So here is the ascending aorta. This is the ascending aorta, right? This is the ascending aorta, and brachiocephalic artery, right? This is a brachiocephalic artery. We will see in diagram. This is the brachiocephalic artery, right? And now in lateral side, this is the lateral side. We will see in the lateral side, right phrenic nerve with accompanying vessels and right pleura and lungs. So this is a relation. Now tributage. The Jacques vein arches over the root of the right lung and opening into the superior vena cava at the level of second costal cartilage, right? So in tributage, we will see in tributage, this is the Jacques vein. The Jacques vein arches over this is a Jacques vein, right? This is a Jacques vein. It arches over the root of the right lung and open into the superior vena cava. It open into the superior. This is the superior vena cava at the level of second costal cartilage. This portion where it open a Jacques vein is the second costal cartilage, right? just before the letter enter in the pericardium, and several small mediastinal tunnel and pericardial vein drain into the vena cava. Now clinical anatomy. When the superior vena cava is obstructed above the opening of the azygous vein, the venous blood of the upper half of the body is returned through the azygous vein, and the superficial veins are dilated on the chest up to the costal margin. Right. And blood from the upper limb is returned through the communicating vein, joining the vein around the scapula with the intercostal vein. Right. So this is a route where the superior vena cava is obstructed above the opening of the azygous vein, so that the venous blood return from the upper limb, axillary vein, then subscapular vein, then circumflex scapular vein, and which anasmosis around the scapula and communicating with the intercostal vein, then drain into venous azygos, and it drain in superior vena cava, then right it. Right. And the blood, when the superior vena cava is obstructed below the opening of the azygous vein, right, the blood is returned through the inferior vena cava by the femoral vein, and the superior vena cava are dilated on both the chest and abdomen up to the saphenous opening in the thigh. This is the saphenous, great saphenous vein, okay, and this is a saphenous opening. So it will be dilated up to the opening in saphenous, right. So the superficial vein connecting to the lateral thoracic vein. What is a route? This is a route when the venous blood return through the heart by this route. So when the superior vena cava is blocked, obstructed below the opening of azygous vein, then blood return through brachiocephalic vein, then axillary vein, then lateral thoracic vein. Lateral thoracic vein goes through the thoracoepigastric vein, then it drains superficial epigastric, then great saphenous vein, then femoral vein, and inferior vena cava, then it goes to heart. So this is a interconnecting between the venous drainage when obstruction occurs in superior vena cava above the level of azygous vein and below the level of azygous vein. Okay guys, thank you very much.